Thank you so much. And a very good morning to all of you. And here we are today talking about nurturing the nurturers. January being the well-being month, I'm so glad I'm here talking to you all about the very, very important topic, nurturing. So these days, have you heard about this buzzword, well-being? And what is it? So philosophically, if I go at a very higher level definition, and it's there everywhere, but I will not take that because we can Google it, we can read it anytime. Just want to tell you in very simple words, well-being is nothing but the state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. It's nothing but how you feel, how you function at a personal level, as a social level, at your school, how you evaluate your life as a whole. And so it truly and surely includes having a good mental health, having high life satisfaction, a sense of meaning and purpose, the ability to manage stress. Ouch. Came the elephant in the room? So today we will touch base on the same and working on some practical techniques to nurture ourselves. So, as I said, in today's world, the word well-being comes into picture. But isn't that life throws a lot on us? And that's so fast. And as a teacher, as an educator, how can I always have a calm mind? Isn't there a challenge there? Yes, it is. I've been there. I've had that stress fall, so I understand that. And that's why we're learning how to handle these challenges. It becomes so important for us to know how to regulate our emotions because that helps us to pause and assess so that we can face these challenges with a clear and calm mind. But given our roles, is that really possible? Because being a teacher is hard. It can be brutal, frustrating, making sacrifices, but you still show up every day, year after year, walking into that classroom early in the morning, preparing for the day, and you know you really cannot be prepared for. How many times have you just planned out your day, one after the other, and something's just came up and it throws off your plan? And then your students start arriving. You greet them, you get the class in order, but all you want to do is sit at your desk, have a few sips of coffee or tea, which even by that time would probably be cold. Being a teacher requires a lot of energy, mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy. And again, by the end of the day, your energy is depleted. So you need to recharge because being a teacher is not just transfer of knowledge from a teacher to student. As a teacher, you are an investor. You invest every day your time in these students with the hope that by the end of the year, the outcome is greater than the time invested. Being a teacher is about a mentor, guiding these students down the correct path, giving them the support they need to succeed in, and being a role model to them, basically. It's about having empathy and sympathy, taking the time to understand your students' behaviors and emotions. Being a teacher is being a counselor. Being a teacher is about making sacrifices for your students, giving up those lunch breaks to help students out who might be falling behind or would reach out to you with some concerns, giving up your weekends to grade those papers, prepare for assignments. Being a teacher is also about being an innovator, finding new ways to keep students engaged, to improve the learning. And sometimes being a teacher is being another parent to these kids. And let's be honest, sometimes just as invested as the parents are, we teachers also get invested in these students' lives. So the school, as I say, is like a forest. And the classroom is like one of those trees in the forest where the teachers are the tree trunk. You're the anchor, the foundation. You're the roots of these students' educations to help shape their lives. They are the branches that first are very short, small, fragile, but they grow. And how do they grow? From the nutrients that pass up from the roots. As these little weak branches grow, they become bigger and stronger. right? But in process of these multiple roles that we as teachers do, what if something happens to the roots, to that trunk, to you? Aren't there some common challenges faced by teachers? And I'll just list a very few of them. Heavy workloads, emotional toll, limited resources, which I think always is the case, balancing your personal and professional life. What happens then? Eventually, our emotion build up and they take a toll. How? Emotions can really trip us up. There is stress and anxiety, which makes us lose our focus. It turns our brain into the fog, making it hard for us to focus and on to testing and to practicing anything. It's just like that fog, and you're not able to see anything very clearly. Sometimes you just snap on to things, snap on to decisions. How many times, tell me, you would have thought, why did I do that? Maybe we would have done something in the heat of the moment and later thought, why did I do that? There could be fumbles. Anger can turn into a chat with a friend, family, student, even your fellow teachers, into a full-blown argument. The friendship fumbles. Constant stress doesn't just wear out our mind, it tires our bodies too. You feel completely drained out. And what does that do to your motivation? You feel low. It's like our own drive to perform and complete a task, we just give that up and we just leave it. So whether it is snapping at someone when we are tired or getting stressed due to a big event at school or exams, our emotions are a big part of who we are, and they don't always play by the rules. But I just want to tell you one thing. This is all a part of life. It doesn't mean that you are failing or falling behind. It just calls for us to grip our emotions. And getting that grip on our emotions means we can stay composed and calm under pressure and not let the daily stress take over. Building resilience, bouncing back, helping to snap back after situations like these occur. Life knocks us down, just like that sponge ball bounces back. And for that, staying healthy in our mind and our body is essential. It's all a part of ensuring that you are a priority to yourself. You need to take care of yourself. And that is called self-care. Now, this just makes me think about an example. So how many times do we go onto a flight? The first instruction that comes to us is, in case of an emergency, the oxygen masks will drop down. First, put the mask onto yourself and then help kids, adults, or anybody besides you. We've all heard that, right? Now just think about it. Why do we say that? The oxygen mask on ourselves first. Because if you can't breathe, you can't take care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of anybody around you. Whether it is anyone at school, whether it is anyone at home, your friends, your dear ones, nobody. Self-care is important. Self-care is any activity you can actively choose to do to take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It helps you to manage stress better and allows us to be more productive. Taking care of ourselves helps us keep a good work-life balance. Because if you do not put that mask on, you cannot take care of yourself. And that'll affect your students, their success, eventually your success, people around you, your friends, your family, your nears, your dears. And that's why today we first identify the areas of self-care and talk about some practical proven strategies to make self-care a priority. First one, mental self-care, taking care of your mind. Set a routine, schedule time for work, as well as time for reviewing those lesson plans, any homework that you've got. Set a routine, schedule your time, but take breaks during the day. Take time to go pause, do other things not related to classes, and please keep your phone away at that point in time because that is important. The pause is important. Practice mindfulness. Take time for mentally relaxing activities as well as the activities that stimulate your creativity. And I'll give you a quick tip here of 4-4. So here's a cue for you. Whether you're comfortable closing your eyes or opening your eyes, just breathe in for 4 seconds and breathe out for 4 seconds. And at that time, just keep your attention to your breath. There'll be thoughts coming to your mind, but keep your attention to your breath. Self-care also means being patient and kind to yourself. Give yourself that pause. Coming to the next one, which is the emotional self-care. Acknowledge your feelings and know that they are valid. Write them down, journal it, or share it with someone else. I understand sometimes sharing, you can't share with everyone openly. It's all right. Write it down. Have a notebook. Write down whatever is coming to your mind, whatever emotion, stress, feelings, anxiety, you don't like something. If you cannot talk to someone, write it down. Worried about someone to read it? Tear it off. Burn it off, throw it away, but take it out of your system. You need to take care of yourself because these feelings are valid. We are human beings. We cannot be perfect all the times. There could be all kind of feelings, all kind of emotions coming into your head, and take it out. The second important part is practice gratitude. Think of at least 3 things you are thankful for each day. We'll talk a little more about gratitude and we'll get into it and how does that really help. Before that, we'll just go to the next step, which is physical self-care. Now, getting enough sleep is most important. Keep a bedtime schedule. Give your body that rest. It needs to recover. You have batteries, your phone batteries, when they're charging off, what do? You put a charger, right? Because they need to get back. They need to recover. They need to be full. And that is sleep for you. Eat well, eat healthy, nourish your body with healthy food and keep yourself hydrated. And when I say eat healthy, no, I'm not saying that you don't indulge into those ice creams or any sweet. Do it, but do it in moderation. 80% nutrition, 20% of indulgence. And I think that'll have a perfect blend for you too. Exercise regularly. Set aside 30 minutes of your day. I think that much we can give to ourselves. Just move your body, whether it is walk, jog, run, exercise, yoga, whatever. Self-care practices can look different to everyone. For some, it may just mean that you're staying still, looking at the sky, while for some, it may mean that you need to be active, you're looking around, and you're comfortable with that. The main idea is to engage into an activity that recharges you. It could also mean being socially connected. Social self-care is another important part. There are so many days that you would not want to go down, meet people, go out, just to say hello to a neighbor because you feel stressed out. But you know what? Maintaining connections with other people is good for you. Reach out to someone every day. Call, message a family member, a friend, just to check in, and you will see what difference it makes to you. If your excuse is that you don't have time, then let me tell you one thing. Self-care, mindfulness is a bigger reason for you to get involved into it now. You think of self-care as taking care of yourself so that you can take care of the others. So no time is no excuse. Make that time for you. Remember the oxygen mask. If you don't put it on you, you cannot move forward. So, there comes thanks. Are we done already? I know what must be ticking your mind right now. Self-care is fine, but I really don't know. I have the time with my school responsibilities, home, balancing. It's such a task. And thus, the stress. Thus, the need to take care. But how? And this thanks is not the end of what I have to say and discuss with you. It's just the beginning. Because I've given it as acronyms so that we remember. So T of your thanks says time. And what I want to remind you is to schedule it. One of the most important productivity tools that you have, and an important tool, I must say, is your calendar. Because if you don't schedule, it's probably never going to happen. You schedule your parent-teacher meetings, you schedule your lesson plans, schedule your internal meetings, your work. But are we scheduling reading, meditation, walking, working out, meeting friends, dear ones, your own self? No, we don't do that. Let's schedule it. Schedule time to reflect and to feel grateful. Each morning, start your day off right. And in the evening, idly. Idly both, I would say, because it doesn't take a lot of time to reflect on what you're genuinely grateful for. And don't just see it, just feel it. Feel it like if the only things you had in your life are what you have today. Express gratitude for it today. What if the only thing in your life, the people, the things that you have in your life, are the only things left with you tomorrow? So express gratitude today. Why wait? I mean, I know of some people who've had a near death experience, and I know it's not a fun conversation to have, but these individuals probably have had an accident, and from there, they have turned into one of the most grateful people I know, who talk about how you live, how you love, how you matter in life, and you don't want to leave all that behind. These are all mindsets. It all starts here in your mind. And your motivation methods and could just be as simple as 3 to 5 minutes of your quiet contemplation or journaling, as I said. Take it out of your system. H is highlight. Now, what are you highlighting? It's usually an exercise that I do, and I highlight the positive emotions. I've been doing it for decades, and where at night I do it to improve my memory. I would just review my day, and this is actually called episodic memory, because a lot of people don't remember what they ate during the day or whom they're talking to that day. I just fast forward my day at night just before going to sleep, and it only takes a few minutes because I'm doing it faster speed, and it's kind of review that I'm doing, just skimming through. First of all, it's a great memory training because there's no such thing as good memory or bad memory. It's just a trained and an untrained memory. And what this allows you to do is not only to reflect on your day and to improve your memory, but the rapid review. It also allows you to take time and say, okay, I'm going to pick up 3 things that I just reviewed from the day for which I was grateful for. So, about highlighting the positive moments, and this could be as simple as someone who was there to open the door for you. You had books in your hand, somebody was there, open the door for you. Simple things. You had a positive exchange with someone while you were walking, maybe with a stranger. A positive meal. Very simple little things that can add up to what we call as big things. Because you know what? It's the little things that actually are the big things in our life. We come to acknowledging. A for acknowledging. And it means acknowledging other people. Because gratitude that is not expressed doesn't really exist. So, who are we grateful for? Not just what. Who are we grateful for or to? Make it a habit to acknowledge the contribution others make to your life, expressing thanks to friends, family, to colleagues, and even to children. It strengthens your relationship. It increases your own sense of gratitude. And the receiver Imagine somebody saying thank you to you for something that you did. So there's so much of benefit, because who doesn't want to feel like they are seen or they are heard and they are appreciated? And then you'll see how what it does to your relationships, to understanding with them. This will make you feel so light, so good, so expressive, and more effective than ever. Because gratitude is magic. The next bit is the N, which is nature. So when you spend time in nature, you can foster greater levels of introspection, greater levels of gratitude, greater levels of productivity. Nature's beauty can inspire profound appreciation for life. Even a brief walk outside can help you reset your perspective. Let's say you're having a stressful day and you need to take a little pit stop maybe during a brain break. You're just going out, moving, hydrating, breathing. And at that time, you could also think about things that worked well, did not work well. It gives you a different point of view, a different perspective when you are in nature. So do explore that. The next is kindness. We never know what other people are facing, even children in our class, our own kids, our families. Sometimes we don't even know about the struggles that they are going through. Everybody, you, me, everybody listening right now. We all have some battles that we are battling right now, maybe of little kinds, but they could be. So be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Kindness and gratitude really go hand in hand. By giving kindness to others, we cultivate a sense of appreciation, a sense of connection that we could apply that spirit every single day. So cultivate a sense of appreciation and connection and kindness for the most part of your day. And here's the best part. It's free. So sprinkle that stuff everywhere. Savor small things, acts of stepping out, an experience to review, appreciate it, savor those small little things that you're doing. And I always say this again and again. What you say, what you appreciate, appreciates. Whether it is a cup of coffee, whether it is small experiences, a book you're reading, your warm bed, do that. Integrating thanks doesn't cost anything. Thanks practice into your daily lives, daily routines. I think you and I, we could cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude, care, self-care, which can enhance not only our well-being, but also our brain health. Because when you feel grateful, you do not feel lonely. When you feel grateful, it's hard to feel stressed. When you feel grateful, it's hard to feel that fear that keeps you from moving forward. So here's what I want you to do, and I urge you to do that. I urge you to express gratitude today. When we are done, just express gratitude. Take 2 to 3 minutes. What are you grateful for? Share that with someone. What you appreciate about them. You could write a thank you note or post a comment and tell people what are you grateful for. You can even take a screenshot of this episode and post it on any of your social handles if you want, tag us so that we can see what you are really grateful for. Because you know what? Gratitude, self-care does so good for you. When your teachers prioritize your well-being, it creates that ripple effects and extends beyond the classroom. You will find such a positive classroom environment. The students will be so engaged. Their learning experiences will be so much better. You are modeling resilience to them because you are taking care of yourself. Students observe, and they will observe you overcome and foster the growth mindset and adaptability. It'll give you a better job satisfaction. It'll start fostering a culture of well-being within your environment, whether it is school, whether it is home. It's funny, how these days people would videos and dialogues that become viral. So what I'm suggesting here is let's make self-care, our well-being, gratitude go viral. Let's make well-being and gratitude go viral. I would say that all we could do is little bit, but that little bit becomes a lot over time. Too many things, yes, I know, but it is not needed to be perfection. perfectionist. It's,
Mansi.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you, Miss Mansi. Because of the time constraint, we cannot afford to have more time for you because
yeah,
the questions are also lined up. If
sure,
you if you want to attend the questions, please.
sure.
You
You
want to
want me
finish
to
the
do this
previous?
last slide, or
Yes,
do you
please.
want me to take up the
Yeah,
questions
yeah.
now?
Finish the last slide, please. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. All right. So consistency is the only thing that I advocate here. Just don't look for perfection. Go for consistency. Just shut that little voice in your head that holds you back, saying that this is difficult, I don't have times. All I say is one negative thought that comes to your mind, counter it with three positive ones. Learn from your mistakes, celebrate small wins, and set and maintain a personal boundary for a healthier lifestyle. I'm done, Pravina. Thank you so much.
So can you stop sharing the screen, please, so that the audience can have a better view of you, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. So there are around 12 questions lined up, Miss Mansi, but most of the questions are already answered by you. Still, I would like to ask, the important ones,
Sure.
which can be thrown more light on them. So the first question goes,
Sure.
how can schools and educational institutions support and promote a culture of self-care among their teaching staff?
So, as you rightly said, there were a couple of things that I mentioned, and the thanks approach that I mentioned can really be implemented. It's very important that we take care of our time, highlight things that are important, and highlight the positive aspects of your day. So, in a school culture, when you're talking about self-care, we as teachers, we as educators do have some time off, right? And we do take breaks. During that breaks, do not take your phone with you. That's the most important thing. Just switch off from everything. Give yourself a couple of moments of deep breathing. That really helps, and that does wonders. Initially, it may seem, what am I doing? But you will see the effects of it if you do that consistently. Give yourself at least a month. Give yourself 3 to 5 minutes. Take those mindful breaks, and that will help. If you're stressed out, just go down, walk out of the classroom, go in a place where there is some calm, where there is a connection with nature, do that. And please, please, please start journaling, start writing. In case there are any thoughts coming into your mind, take them out, pour them out, because that will help you.
Okay. So in what ways does prioritizing self-care positively impact not only teachers, but also students and the overall learning environment, ma'am?
That's such a lovely question. And so, as I said, it creates a ripple effect. So teacher who's emotionally, physically well and is always better equipped to create a positive and nurturing classroom, because it enhances the students' well-being and their learning experiences. I'll just give you a quick example. Say there is a teacher, and I'll call her Miss Wisdom. She embraced well-being and cherished her lesson plans, sprinkling a bit of self-care magic in her daily routine. Once the students saw something extraordinary, the class is buzzing with that energy, because if you are feeling good, you express it. People around you start feeling good. So when you have that secret sauce, that goes beyond your own self. It creates that ripple. You are happy and people around you are happy. So the kids actually see that you are taking those mindful pauses. It's not always necessary to be always hyped up about so many things. Portions are not done. We need to do that. Take a pause, breathe in, because any which ways, when you're stressed out, you will not be able to put it forward. And that comes out on children. If you are mindful, if you are taking those pause, if you are maintaining that healthy balance and occasionally swapping your lesson plans for a laughter session, trust me, it will show up on your kids too. And it will show up on the environment overall.
Okay. Well explained, ma'am. So are there any misconceptions about self-care for teachers that you would like to address?
Oh, it's not just for teachers, but for everyone. And for teachers, it brings an additional responsibility, because we feel that teachers cannot be wrong because they are teachers. We need to first understand we are all human beings. We tend to make mistakes. It's important to accept, it's important to foster that culture because perfection is not what you can look at. I can do anything today, maybe not with perfection, but consistency. When somebody goes to a gym thinking that, I need to lose weight, I need to go to the gym, I need to eat well. You do it for 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, you may see results, you may not see results. I don't know when will you see results. But if you do that consistently, day on day on day, maybe first few days you may not see results, but eventually you will see results. So consistency is what I expect everybody to focus on. Just shut that little voice, as I said, in your head. I can't do it. Push yourself on. Go, walk there and do it consistently. Little mindful breaks, if you take, maybe 2 3 days, you will not see a difference. But if you do that consistently, if you make that habit, express gratitude, say thank you to people, you are doing good not just to them, you are doing good to yourself. Do it once, write that gratitude note, and you will feel the difference. And trust me on that.
So, talking about happy me, are
Mhm.
there any success stories or anecdotes you can share about teachers who have experienced positive transformations through practicing self-care?
Sure. Well, I myself come from the background where I've hailed from a corporate background to being an educationist and being a global education ambassador. Now, during the whole process, I saw that as educators, there is so much that educators do. However, we forget to take care of ourselves. So I've trained and coached almost 15,000 plus educators now, which is globally that I talk about. And as we started working on our journey, uh, we realized that this comes, what is outside of you is not what guides your happiness or guides your care, but what is inside of you takes care. So if I say today, how was your day? What would your response be? Ravina?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was
if somebody
great.
great, right?
Yes.
Why was it great? Say maybe I went to this webinar and it was nice. I went to shopping, it was nice. I did this and I watched a series on Netflix that was nice. My class was good, it was nice. So overall, I have a good day. But what if it is not like that tomorrow?
Mhm.
What if the webinar was something that I couldn't relate myself to? What if I went to shopping and that didn't fetch me any good? What if the series I didn't like? So till the time you leave things outside of you govern your happiness, you will never be happy. So it has to come from within. You need to be able to control that. We cannot always do that. We are human beings. You get angry, you get upset. Yes, you do. That is important because that's a part of being a human. That's why we are human beings, not human things or human doings, right? So, whatever comes from within, how we can control it, how we feel from within actually makes us happy. And that is why happy me, because it is by my choice. So, globally, when I talk to teachers, this was the first thing that comes across that as teachers, there is so much that we need to do. How do we manage? Balancing a scale could be, but not always, right? The scale will always be up somewhere and down somewhere because this is life. We need to be able to prioritize. And when I say prioritize, first prioritize yourself. Because if the oxygen mask is not on you, you cannot take care of anything else.
Yes. So, talking about priorities, ma'am, how can teachers cultivate supportive relationships with colleagues, family, or friends to create a safety net and share the emotional burdens of the profession?
Such a profound one, Pravina. And again, I would come back to the same thanks that we spoke about. Uh, First of all, take out time for yourself. When I say that you need to take out time for yourself and reflect and highlight, highlight the positives, because there's so many things that happen good around. So, the way our human mind is trained, we will always think about the negative. We don't think about the positive. So we need to train our mind to think about the positive things. Our colleagues are there. You are sitting free and you've taken your break and you're comparatively fine. If you are kind enough and you develop that kindness of thanks, you extend some help. Of course, the other time, the other person will also extend some help to you. Somebody is not feeling good, extend what you know. Take them on a nature walk, ask them to go for a nature walk. You can express gratitude. Feel good about yourself. What was that happened good to me? Like this morning, if I say my alarm rang and I was up, that was such a nice thing. I did not put it on snooze. I went on. My day went smooth. Little things that matter. Somebody got a coffee for you. Kids, they are so sweet. Yeah, school environment is such. Kids are notorious. They just want to be heard, because as human beings, we all want to be heard. So they will do those things, but they want to be heard. If you are hearing them out, not giving any suggestion, nothing, you will see the difference. Express gratitude. Tell them that you're thankful for them to be able to pick books for you and keep them in the staff room for you while you could not, or you were rushing. They do such little things. Your colleagues who are helping you out, express gratitude. Once you do that, it's not just you who feels good, the other person feels good. It builds a good bond between you both, and you're able to acknowledge your environment in a better way and foster that environment of positivity.
Okay. So it's not only about educators, ma'am. It's in any sector. So
Yeah.
I'll just use the word teachers. How can teachers overcome the tendency to overcome it and learn to delegate tasks effectively, both within the classroom and beyond? It can be applicable to any work, right?
So, so many times it happens that we tend to take some tasks in hand. And why that happens is because we have not planned and we have not scheduled. So again, I will come back to the thanks and T, where I said T is the time. I want you to schedule it. So when you have things in hand, you have your calendar, you have your plate full. How can you have something else? If there is a glass full of water, and if you pour full more water into it, what will happen? It will spill over. And that spillover comes onto you because you have taken it without knowing that you already have so many things in hand. So schedule your tasks. Time management there is very important. If you have a scheduled calendar, you know how much can you take. And if you cannot take, you can politely tell the other person that you are full. Until the time you are aware that you are full, you will not be able to tell anyone else. So time management and scheduling is the most important thing in any role that you do. In your role, in my role, teacher's role, anybody.
So last question, ma'am. So what would be your advice? How can we work together as a community of educators to advocate for policies and practices that support teacher well-being and self-care?
So once there is an attitude of gratitude in ourselves, the effects are seen around us. Well-being becomes important, and well-being is not just that we have one lecture, one seminar done for educators or for any segment and it's done. No, it is again and again what you hear, what gets into your mind, what gets into your system that makes a difference. So how I put it across to people that I work with is, it's not just once, because what you hear is what you do. It's like they say that the top 5 people in your life are the ones who basically build on your own character as well. So if you have people around you, and it's your workplace, it's the school in this case, because we're talking about teachers and educators, where you spend maximum amount of time. And if that place is not healthy, it does not have a positive culture, you yourself will not be able to. Imagine you've had a bad day, you've come, you're late, and there was an exam that you had to schedule. So the whole day goes bad, right? The whole day goes grumpy. So if you come in with that mood and you don't know how to regulate yourself, number one, you are in a bad mood. You are not able to perform well. Your children take it back within their friend circles, within their families as well. Once they go back, you take it to your peers. They also may tend to take it out. How many times, as I had mentioned in one of the examples that I stated, that you do something and then you say that I just snapped, I shouldn't have done that. So how many times does that happen? Many a times. So these are practical things that happen with human beings. And to regulate this, it is so important that we cultivate self-care, we cultivate well-being within our environment. And that's not just once or twice. It has to be a regular practice, because it is important for the nurturers to be nurtured, to be able to take care of our coming generation.
Well explained, ma'am. School Journal of Education and schoolreformer.com. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions, though the questions were repetitive. We also thank the audience for participating in the event. Do you want to mention anything else? How can the audience reach out to you? Happy Me. Do you want to share more light on those details, ma'am?
I will just share my screen once in case you need to reach out to us. You can get onto our website, which is happyme.co. We're there on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. You can write into us at info@happyme.co.
I hope the audience have taken a screenshot or make a note of the details, or you can also connect with Miss Mansi Talwar through LinkedIn also, like the LinkedIn profile is connected, to her talk on the website. So it is there already there. So that's all for today, and we will end the session now, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, and have a good day, everyone. Stay happy, stay relaxed, and take care of yourselves.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.